Shalom. Welcome to Shabbat Talk. It's your brother Yermiyah. Gonna add a little content here. Gonna talk a little bit about going back, or as um, as some people would say, going back to the world. You know, you know, a lot of times when you enlighten and the Father wakes you up out of slumber, because most of this world, just to put it plain and simple, most of the world is uneducated. They sleep. I mean, sleep. It says in Proverbs, the man that wanders out the way of understanding is in the congregation of the dead. And that's literally speaking about the walking dead. Many of people are dead and not in the casket. They're a walking corpse because they would like to believe, different things whatever the news would tell them, whatever the newest fad is. They just want to be entertained. They just want to Facebook and TikTok it and things. Don't know no knowledge of self. They've been in this world for years. Relationship hasn't even evolved. They live disconnected to what the Father has for us, what the intention. And it's sad to say most people lives don't get fulfilled because they don't even live their full potential because we get trapped into this world and we put trust in the media, and we put trust in the media and we won't do our research. We'll just go with whatever it tells us to do. And it's sad. And a lot of times we get information that's tainted and everything else. But once the Most High wakes you up, He woke us up for a reason, to give us a chance. Just by having certain information, it can save our lives. You know what I'm saying? It can help us live a better life while we're on this side. And a lot of us don't even reach our full potential, and it's sad. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to start with Proverbs 26 and 11. Matter of fact, let's just go to 10. 10 is a good verse too. So Proverbs 26 and 10. The great Elohim, or the great God, as you see there in English, that formed all things, both rewarded the fool and regarded transgressors, meaning people that have broken the laws of the Most High, the do's and the don'ts that the Heavenly Father intended us not to do. Many examples, like a man shouldn't be sleeping with animals. You should be after your own kind, different things of that nature. It's sad that you even have to put something in the Bible that deal with bestiality. Nobody shouldn't be doing bestiality, but believe me, somebody was doing it, or somebody thought to do it, because it wouldn't be no need to put it in there. You would think a person have enough sense not to, but that's not always the case. You have to put things in there. So, and in the Most High's wisdom, He'll let somebody just not even follow His laws, because you worship Him anyway. Anytime you have breath, the scriptures say, He that has breath, praise ye the Most High. You know what I'm saying? He getting praised regardless. Our very face, every time we breathe, we giving praise to Him. Whether you a transgressor, a person that don't follow the law, you a fool, or you a part of the awakening. Because Yah is on our face. The Y is the A and the H right here. Yah is in the middle of our face. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get His praise regardless. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So it say, as a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. You know, dogs are very good companions, man. They real good companions. They love you, seem like unconditionally. You take care of them, they gonna take care of you. A dog can be your best friend. Right? Like in the Hebrew, Caleb is dog in the Hebrew. Right? A Caleb can be your best friend beyond a shadow of a doubt. He don't care. He happy to see you no matter when you come. You know, a lot of times he be done seeing you 5 minutes later, or she wagging that tail. You know what I'm saying? You look up, they looking at you just wagging their tail because they got so much love for you. And a lot of times it's sad they got more admiration than human to do. You know, and then what trips me out here. You know, a dog will sit there and eat something, and it may not be good for them. You know, it's the reason you throw it up to expel it out your body because your body see it as a toxin or a poison. You know, and he'll throw it up. But then when you throw up, you have that empty feeling in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? And a dog will return back to it because he just wants something in his stomach. And he's not gonna go hungry. You know what? He'll return back and eat the throw up on the ground. And so returning a fool to his folly. A fool, folly, a good definition of folly is foolishness. Lack of sense. See that? I'm scroll it up. Lack of sense. A foolish act or practice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, a fool will return to foolishness. You know people like that. They can't. They always gotta be extra. They always gotta take the hood everywhere they go. Take problems everywhere they go. You trying to have a good time. You trying to go somewhere, and they'll take and start a fight, or just take foolishness. Always around the mess and the drama, looking to start. You know what? When you graduate and you get awakened and you see that this person is a negative to your life, everybody can't go with you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the saying now. Everybody can't go, and that's the truth. You trying to get to that higher level, that higher level of consciousness and understanding of the scriptures and the Father and your purpose. And then you'll always be attached. You'll notice you always be attached to somebody that ain't trying to do that. They'll call you all kind of things, theorists, because you know you awaken and you see the truth in some of this, because there's a lot of wickedness going on right before your eyes, and then they making it look like they throwing a rock and hiding their hand, making it look like they ain't doing nothing. From everything. You know, social media, a lot of these movie stars and stuff like that, basketball players, sports players, and all that. Even some of these preachers try to get you to do things, and we just had a situation. Cause I want to get this video flagged or whatever. But everybody had a choice to make when it came to a certain illness not that long ago. And some people took what the government and went with science, so-called science, and some people didn't, but it was pros and cons to each one. A lot of people that dealt with certain things, they dealing with blood clot issues. Blood clot issues are coming from some of the choices that some people made to go with what the government, Bill Gates, and some of the other people, dealt with. It wasn't a whole lot of research done that the government, they done some, but it's pros and cons to everything. They'll use to fear to shape what you do. Let me tell you something. If you believe in the Most High, let me tell you something. I'm a firm believer in the Most High. I'm one of the person I can believe to the crazy point. I got faith beyond what I'm saying? When I put the most high name on something, you know what? I'm looking for it to come to expiration, or what I put it to, and I haven't seen the Most High fail me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of faith, in all that we went through in 2020 and 21, still going, because I got one of my children dealing with that issue. As a parent, you know, you want your child to you want your child to you want to protect your child. You want your child to prosper. You want your child, and here come all these illnesses that pops up, whether no matter where it's from. You know, people who have had this situation along the hill. I had a supervisor, pretty cool dude. We started out bad. We started out terrible because really he had a strong way of talking to people that he didn't know. And my whole thing is about it. If I don't know you like that, I can't joke with you like that. And me and him got into it, and it wasn't a thing that took him out, but he got nervous during the time of having it. He went to South Texas to work because the job sends you different places and stuff. And he went to South Texas and worked, and he went down there to the valley and caught it. And he had just came and got his jab, and but he had already had it. And he didn't realize he had already had it, and he already had some underlying conditions. And anyway, he had blockage, and he got to the point he couldn't breathe, and pretty much that ended his time here on this earth. But we squashed it out, you know what I'm saying, and we came to an understanding just prior. That's what was amazing. Just prior to him dying, we got a lot of understanding. We shook hands, we hugged. It was cool, you know what I'm saying. And you just never know when the last time you're gonna see somebody. This illness sometimes, takes people out. So you don't want to see nobody. You don't want nobody to suffer. When you in this faith, you love everybody. You know what I'm saying. And you don't want to see nobody. But y'all pray for my son. Malik. I don't like putting names out there and stuff. Y'all know I shield people around me. I don't mind people talking about me or whatever you gonna do. I really don't care. But people that I love, I shield. But y'all pray for them. You know what I'm saying? Because man, you can be here today and gone tomorrow. We don't leave nothing for. But I'm believing that everything is all right. So a dog will return to his vomit, because you know what, he just got to be having something in his stomach. And a lot of us do things in haste. We quick just to do something because we want to satisfy our flesh. We don't operate in our high being, our high self. We operate a lot in our flesh part of us. Our earthly part, our carnal part, the part that's human. We don't spend a lot of time on the spiritual part of us, because we are multi-dimensional being. We spirit. We have a soul, and we have a physical body. We made from this realm, but our prayers, our spirit can travel. So it goes to another realm. So we multi-dimensional people. We have that ability through the Father, but a lot of times we do something in haste, and I was just saying just yesterday about how different blessings have a different germination time. I kind of timed it like plants. You can be eating tomatoes in a series of weeks versus something like shea butter takes shea butter. Uh, the nut from the shea butter tree takes 40 years before you can get you some shea butter if you want to put it in your soap or put it on your skin. I'm one of the people I love some shea butter. So you know, each one, if you look on the seed package or whatever, it has a different time, and that's the way your blessings are. And a lot of times we just want, we like that commercial. It's my money and I want it now. We just want that money like immediately. You know what I'm saying? And everything ain't geared that way. Parts of your life are more like the shea butter tree for later on blessing. And we do stuff hastily. And the Most High have blessed us a lot of times to come out of foolishness. Some of these friends of ours are holding us back. They really are. They this carnal. They constantly got you, and the Bible say evil communication corrupts good manners. You know, you're around people, and a lot of people, they'll show you. Just sit back and be quiet. They'll anytime you winning. Oh, you got your little chain, or you got your little car, you got your little this, oh, you got your little raise. A lot of times they showing you right then and there that they're Judas Iscariot. You know what I'm saying? As long as Judas was getting the bag, Judas was holding the bag. He was the treasurer out of the disciples. He was holding the money. He had a sister wanted to bless Yeshua, or some of y'all know it's Jesus, with some expensive oil, and she rubbed it on his feet. I'm like, man, we could have got a couple $100 for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing with that, man? We need to put this to the bag, baby. I got the bag. I can see Judas right now. I got the bag, baby. What you gonna put it on his feet? You gonna be walking in the sand and stuff with those sandals, man. We tripping. Man, you know what we can do with that good old oil? You know what I'm saying? You know what? He was showing tendencies way before he went and sold him out. You know what I'm saying? And how many people we know sell us out? How many people we sell us out? They ain't got to sell us out totally to the popos or to the police or whatever. How many people your friend and then go tell other people about you intimate details, what you talked to them about? That's a Judas Iscariot. You know what I'm saying? That's one. And you know what? Just like, the Bible says that the angels are the watchers of men. And some people, regardless of what place you come from, some people say the ancestors, the people that moved on, however, many traditions and many other cultures believe that you're being watched. That's what I'm saying. And but we know for a fact that the angels are watching. The watchers. And really, at the end of the day, don't nothing go that the Most High don't see. But on the other side of the coin, Satan and his minions got watchers too. You know what I'm saying? They watch. It's just like Yahushua was doing a fast for 40 days. And he was being watched by Hashatan or Satan. You know what I'm saying? It's always somebody watching. Guess what? The Most High knows our heart. He knows our intention. He knows when we're gonna come up out of stuff. And sometimes he wake up our conscience. He put us in the experience. We wake up. You know what? What I've been doing is foolish, and I'm doing it with this person. And this person is as long as I'm around this person, then you wake up, and find out that, man, this ain't what I want from life. I want better than this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really happy. You know what I'm saying? I want better than this. And then, like I say, this person, your friend, as long as you sad and you got your head, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Man, they there like this. Well, you know about this. As long as you in the dumps with them, guess what? As long as but at some point, you get to the knowledge, the Most High get all that off of you. He make you throw up like the dog. You know what I'm saying? He make you throw up. You know what? You done got all that toxin, all that poison. You done got all that about you. But guess what? Here go that friend, man. You realize you hungry, you ain't got nothing in your stomach. I ain't got nothing to give you. You gonna have to go back. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. So a fool with his father. Okay. Let's look at some examples of turning back. I'll show you some examples of turning back. Once you done moved and gravitate, ain't no looking back. You can't go back. Once you got a certain amount of knowledge in yourself and what's going on, ain't no turning back. We need to quit looking for and expecting a change. You know what I'm saying? Looking back always will get you bust up. You know what I'm saying? Period. Now let's look at Shemot in the Hebrew or Exodus in the English, chapter 8, verse 1. It's during the time of Moses and Pharaoh. And I'm going to just start at 1. And it says, and the Lord spake unto Moshe. So the Adonai spake unto Moshe, go unto Pharaoh and say unto him, thus saith Yah, let my people go, that they may serve me. So the Most High told Moshe or Moses to go to Pharaoh and say, hey man, let my people go. Tell him I say let them go. But see, he was considered a god to his people, to the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? He was thinking more highly to himself. I got control of these boys. I'm God. You know what I'm saying? And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all the borders with frogs. Now keep in mind, he didn't already in the previous chapter, I'm gonna just backtrack real quick. In the previous chapter, he done turned the water to blood already. See, that was a sign right there. That was a sign right there. You turn water to blood. Man, Pharaoh should have been like, man, but people try to do that dumb lie because a fool returned to his father. You know what I'm saying? His foolishness. A fool will sit there and won't even catch the sign. And the signs is, Most High will, for example, the Most High will send somebody in your life to help rescue you out that foolishness. Most of the time, the Most High will send a person. We're all individuals. But you know what? We're going to die alone. We came in here alone. But, the Most High send somebody. That's the thing about this life. You have to intermingle. You have to make friendships and pacts because, it wasn't meant for not to not meet somebody. Once you birth in here, it tells you eventually, a man should cleave to his wife, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be alone, you know what I'm saying? And people bring forth children, which, a lot of times in your latter years when you can't take care of yourself, that's who's going to help take care of you. This thing was meant to be that way, you know what I'm saying? And you got these people, they'll make, oh, that just was, man, don't worry about it. That's just a little water, man. I got some water healed up, man. I got a whole lot of water. In my house, I got a couple cases. Don't worry about that water over there. Don't even worry about that. I got cases. You know how people that fool. I'll be all right for a little while. I mean, it's going to pass, They just can't see, like, what's going on. Now, all the water turned to blood prior to him telling them, hey, man, let my people go. Tell them I said, the Most High said, you better let my people go. Let's see what happens. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly. Because they worship frogs. I think it was Harpy, the god of one. I might be wrong, but they had a Harpy or Napi, something like that, was one of the gods that they worship. But he was a frog. They worshiped 10 gods. The Most High. Basically, this whole thing was the Most High mocking the Egyptians because they served 10 deities, and the Most High destroyed them all with them. Okay, you want frogs? I'm gonna give you worship frogs. I'm gonna give you frogs, partner. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so this how the Most High was making a mockery of him. You know what I'm saying? He was using the men of the Most High to go to him and deliver a judgment if this man don't make a choice. And we're gonna see if he made a choice or not. So, so, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house. They're gonna be everywhere. You ain't gonna be able to keep them out your house. And into thy bedchamber, into your bedroom, and upon thy bed. You're gonna be sleeping with frogs in your bed, man. Boy, I know plenty of women out there. I know I don't even like frogs. I don't even want to touch no frogs like that. I can imagine you laying in your bed. It's 50, 60 frogs in your bed, man. That ain't cool. And and uh, and into thine ovens and into thy kneading throws. So, and the frogs shall come up upon thee, and upon thy people, and upon thy servants. And it says, and the Most High spake unto Moshe, say unto Aharon, or Aaron in English, Aharon Hebrew for Aaron, stretch forth thine hand unto the rod over the streams, over the rivers, over the ponds, and cause the frogs to come up to the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And the magicians did so with their enchantments, and both and brought up frogs upon the land. And Pharaoh called to Moses, or Moshe, and Aharon, and said, entreat thy Lord that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may sacrifice unto the Lord. Now, Satan always got somebody want to do some mess. Look at 7. And the magicians did so. Just like it's good, you got evil. The Most High sends us good blessings, and then you got magicians. That's why they magicians. Magic. They working with the other team. You know, they got certain abilities. That's why it's such thing called spiritual warfare. Because guess what? You trying to work on a good team, and have it going on with the Creator, and then it's always people praying against your destiny, or speaking, casting spells against your destiny by talking negative about your life, and you taking 2 steps forward, take 2 steps back, 3 steps back, and getting nowhere. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, glory over me, when I entreat thee for thy servants and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from thee and thine houses, that they may remain in the river only. And he said, tomorrow. And he said, be it according to thy word, and that thou mayest know that there is none like unto the Lord our God. So he said, amen, tomorrow I'm gonna make these frogs. I'm gonna honor your request, Pharaoh, and I'm gonna send them back. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be tomorrow. But no, basically, my God is more higher than your God, because see, some of them magicians, they was. Let me see. Let me pull this up so I can get the right name. Yeah. What's this? Heket. If you look at that was the female goddess of fertility. Okay. So this he get or whatever it is. That was the god that they worship. This he get type of thing right here. And I'm just looking down what it's saying. Ancient symbol of fertility related to. Okay, so basically it's out there worshiping nature. So man, he say, man, just know that the Most High did this. I'm gonna take these frogs, and it says, and the frogs shall depart from thee, and from thy house, and from thy servants, from thy people, and they shall remain in the river only. And Aharon went, and Moses and Aharon went from from Pharaoh, and Moses cried unto the Most High because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. Now keep in mind, um, Moses had a lot of love for Pharaoh because he was raised by Pharaoh. He wasn't. Remember when he was found in the basket by Pharaoh's daughter, and he was a Hebrew. His dad was getting his stepfather, however you want to put it, was in the business of killing Hebrew babies. You know what I'm saying? But this man developed a love for him. But she let his mama, um, nurture him and things of that nature. Thus Pharaoh educated him and everything, so he had a love for him. He didn't really want to do this to somebody because he had love for him. But guess what? We know people, whether they be family members, co-workers, and in worst cases, some people got a spouse like that. You know what I'm saying? That they like Pharaoh, you know, and it's sad because anybody get in the way of your worship to the Creator is a problem, you know. And I done seen church people get into it. You know what I'm saying? And so he felt bad. You know what I'm saying? He felt bad for it. He cried. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses. See, the Most High will bless you sometimes. He'll honor your wishes. And the frogs did die out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps. And the land did stink. So he had a big old pile of frogs, man, after. But when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart and hearkened not unto them as the Lord had said. Now, because they worship him. Cause he quit wherever it was. He quit wherever it was, dude, that they worship that I pulled up earlier or whatever. He worship. They worship him. And see, the Most High could have just made them all return, just like they marched up there out of the marshes and out of the ponds and stuff. He could have marched them back. But see, they honored these frogs. They put worship in these frogs. They worship these frogs. So guess what? The Most High killed them. See, he could have just sent them back. Just where they marched up, he could have sent them back to the river. No, he killed them. This was the Most High. Then I don't play. You know what? The Most High have killed out parts of our life. We shouldn't go back to. A lot of times we do stuff when we young. We're a teenager, we smoke weed, want to drink, want to do all kind of foolishness, you know what I'm saying? And then when you get older, especially you crowd above 50, we can't be making moves like a lot of these cats. Everybody want to be lit and turned up now. They don't want to be, they want to do what this world doing. This world is evil. Evil. They can make you worship something and it ain't got to even come out your mouth. You'll be a follower. And it'll come out your mouth. It don't even have to come out your mouth, and you'll be just as sure as you work, just like Christmas. You put that idol in your house, and then you bow to it when you put that present in it. Not one word was said, and you're giving worship. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of people that it's an idol. Jeremiah 10:1. Read it. And it says, and after all that, Pharaoh got pissed off. And here goes 16, the plague of the insect. And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aharon, since you want to be tripping, you don't want to, okay, you got pride, got your chest out, here you go, the Most High. And the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aharon, Stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land that it may become lice throughout the land of Egypt. Oh man, stuff that bite. Like a bed bug situation just on you, man. And he did so. For Aharon stretched out his hand. Notice Aharon stretched out his hand. He didn't let Moses or Moshe do it because it was like his father. You know, it wasn't his biological father, but he was in the position of a father. Notice Aharon did these acts, and he spared Moses. See, the Most High, even in all that, to try to teach a hard lesson, you know, he know how to still keep us. He didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to put the rod over and do it to his father. It's a beautiful thing. Most High, okay, I'm gonna let Aaron do it. You know what I'm saying? And Aaron did stretch his hand out and the rod, he smote the rod and all that. Okay, verse 18. And the magicians did so with their enchantments. See, here go the voodoo workers. Go to voodoo workers, right? They bring forth, they got some power with Satan, but it ain't the real deal. You know what I'm saying? To bring forth life. But they could not. But they could not. Okay, they could not. Okay. But they wanted to. And it says, so there was lice upon men and upon beasts. Now you supposed to be working this voodoo. Voodoo got limitation. I'm gonna say this. It got powers over people that don't have the seal of the Creator. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, if you rocking with the Most High and you obeying the commandments, that's like a force field, like off man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times in my life and in my experiences, I had to ride with it because many people wish death upon me. People wish all kind of stuff on me. You know, I've been through a whole lot of stuff. You know, and I'm always looked upon the guy as people watch, and there's plenty of people who want to see me fall or want to see me go back. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High, I've been rocking with the Most High. I got that stupid faith, man. I'm tell you, I believe when nobody else don't believe. Man, if I put it like this, I have so much faith. If something looked like it's gonna, I remember one time it kind of looked like, I said, I had just prayed a prayer, over my family, over my friends, over for y'all, Shabbat talk, participants, all kind of stuff, and I prayed over my car that particular morning. Next thing you know, I go into work, and not that you won't be tested, you know what I'm saying? Man, I go to work, I see that smoke, I'm like, you got your mirror, I'm like, man, is that smoke? Looking in that rearview mirror. You know what I'm saying? Looking in that rearview mirror. Man, I see smoke. What happened is the hose came off where the radiator hose goes into the firewall. It just come off. It needed a clamp, but it just came off. And I was like, man. First thing I thought about it, because I had put the name of the Creator over it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen the field. Man, let me tell you something. Still drove my car to work. Had to go get a clamp, and brother Jeremy, or Jeremiah, his name is Jeremiah. Another brother Jeremiah that worked with a supervisor. He came, he got pretty good mechanic skill. He brought a screwdriver, whatever, so I can get it back on. And he even did it better than what it was. We ended up going to the thing, and he tightened it back on. It didn't really require parts, but he still upgraded the part to put it on better. Still made the work. Still did my load. Wasn't stuck, but for a few minutes of an inconvenience. But it just goes to say, first thing I thought about. Wait a minute, I prayed about this. This ain't the. Because when I'm looking at the situation, I'm seeing that much smoke. I'm thinking, man, I gotta get a new car. Oh, man, I'm tripping. This ain't what it is. I'm thinking about stuff like that. But immediately, it was dark. I go to work and it's dark a lot of times, and then when I get back, it's dark. So I couldn't, but the lights started coming up while I was saying, oh, so this was wrong. This hose came on, man. I pulled in a Home Depot parking lot. Let me go get a screwdriver and one of them clamps and just put it on there. See if I can get it on. Just tighten it down, man. Ain't no big thing. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't fail me. Not saying you won't be tried or you won't be tested. But now we got these lice and these boys eating up these men and these ladies. You know what I'm saying? And all upon their animal, even they animals. It says, then the magician said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of God. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them as the Lord had said. And the Lord said unto Moshe, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. So he said, man, get up in the morning. He gonna meet you by the water, and tell him, hey man, remind him. I said, let my people go. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarm of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and upon thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, also the ground where they are. So, man, you got lice all over you, man. You done seen them change the water. You done had frogs in your bed. Boy, this is a hard hunt. This is somebody that got some deep sentiment against the Most High. This is somebody that's all the way believing in their foolery. These, fake gods. This is somebody that with this. So you can see why the Most High. People would have had said, man, when you in a dark, man, no more, bro. There would have been so many people fears here, man. But the lights would have got me. Well, I've been done with the frogs. Even when the water turned, I've been. But when it got personal, the water turned. Okay, maybe if I had some water stacked up, I'm in the man that's worried if I was just gonna be like thinking from a fool's perspective. But once the frogs would have got there, I'd be like, hold on, I don't like frogs like that. Well, now we done got the lice. Now they worship Beelzebub, which is the Lord of Flies. Okay, this is another one of their gods. The Most High done, So now the Most High is starting to separate them and put more division. So, and it says, and I will sever in the day the land of Goshen, in which my people would dwell, and the swarm of flies, and no swarm of flies shall beat us. So the Most High said, all you Israelites, y'all ain't got to be up around these. Look, I want y'all to go in the suburbs outside the city real quick. I want all y'all to camp over there. He separate. Most High will separate people, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got to do. We can't be in fellowship with people that is not allowing us to be into our higher conscious, our higher self. Always trying to keep us in a low vibrational state. You know what I'm saying? We can't give them ear like that. I know you trying to be like Moses and still have love, but hey, man, this dude ain't wanna come on with it. And he said, no swarm of flies shall be there in Goshen where the Israelites are, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord, in the midst of the earth, and I will put division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. You see, the Most High got a people, and that's you, Israel. A lot of people have tried to replace you through theology. They replace you today. I'm going to show you what they do. Modern day replacement, how they do it. They call it man-made religion. They call it Mormon. They call it Baptist. They call it non-denominational. They call it Catholic today. They call it these world religions, Jehovah's Witness, Mormon, all these Methodists. They call they titles. None of these people in the Bible. The earliest Protestant religion, because remember, the Protestants left the Catholics. during the Reformation. I pulled that video up. 150 million people died separating from the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church killed. It's called the Great Reformation. The body count was 150 million people because some people decided, hey man, this ain't it, and I'm gonna go this way. This is all man-made, but the earliest Protestant religion is the Baptist. We'll say 1610, the year 1610. What was they worshiping before the year 1610? 1610 years prior to that, before John Smith decided, some white guy, European, decided, oh, I'm gonna make the Baptist. Nobody was doing that. It was Israel. That's how they replace him nowadays. And then when you go in the book of Jeremiah, it says as long as it's a sun and it's going to be a moon and it's an earth, that he will honor Israel. He will never not break the covenant with his people. What he chose Abraham, his seed will be blessed in the world. Everybody in the world going to be blessed through these people. It's just like Paul said in the book of Romans, to the Jew first, then the Gentile. It's a reason he kept saying that, to the Jew first. Then it's just an order how the Most High put a blessing on it. But you know, these religions tell us that we all on an equal playing field. When you go into Deuteronomy 7 and 6, the Most High said his people are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. I could show you that at least 10 times in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Who Israel is. They ain't been replaced, and that's a lie. Modern day religion will teach you that. But nobody is any of these titles that I named in the Old or New Testament. So you got some man named John Smith, 1610 years after Christ, made a religion. Like I say, Most High. And you know the scripture, Matthew 1 and 21 say, and there shall be a virgin, she shall name his name Jesus, and he shall save his people from their sins. His people from their sins. Matthew 15 and 21, Yeshua said, or Jesus said, I come not but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Multiple times. Even Christ said who he come for. And then dealing with the woman with the child that was vexed with demons. You know, she tried to take the children's bread. Christ said, man, I ain't trying to give you the children's bread now. Like what's going on, man? What's going on? I think it's let me see if this is his chapter that come to mind. So oh no, it's in what's called. Hold on. Let's see, 4th chapter, man. Is it the 4th chapter? That's the woman by the well. That's one time too, while he when Yeshua told him that the woman, you don't even know what you worship. You know what I'm saying? It was a Gentile trying to she was a Sumerian trying to make it like she knew what's going on. And Christ said, you know ye not what you worship. We know what we worship. You know what I'm saying? We know we Israel. For some reason, it's not coming. Yeah, let's see something. We'll get it this way. Yeah, we'll get it out of the book of Mark. It's in, I knew it's in. Okay, now we got a woman, a certain woman. So I'm gonna show you who Christ came for. So y'all better quit trying to replace Israel, because they ain't. As long as it's a heaven and the earth, Israel gonna be. You know, who concerning the flesh, Christ came, like Paul was telling you in the book of Romans. Concerning the flesh, the kinsman, my kinsman, concerning the flesh, the reason why Christ came. Like Paul was trying to tell y'all that. Y'all better try to quit trying to jump in front of Israel. This book is Israel first and then everybody else. I'm just jumping around just to prove the point. I can prove it more beyond the shadow of a doubt. And for a certain woman, this is Mark chapter 7 and 25, and it says, for a certain woman whose daughter had a unclean spirit heard of him and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by nation. Syro-Phoenician by nation, and she besought him, and he did, and that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. But Jesus, or Yeshua, said unto her, let the child first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it unto dogs. Now look how Yeshua, or y'all know as Jesus, say, man, it ain't proper. When he say it ain't meet to take the children's bread, basically he said it's not proper for me to take Israel, basically, because I came here for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Matthew 15 and 21. I come not but, for nobody first but them. You know what I'm saying? And cast it to dogs. Yeshua called her a dog. You see what I'm saying? And he said unto her, for this saying, go thy way, that the devil is gone out of thy daughter. Because when you read the other gospels, he didn't even, she was trying to say something to him. He ignored her first before he said this in the other gospel. He ignored her. But he still blessed her because she was humble. You know what I'm saying? And she went to her house and she found the devil gone out and her daughter laid upon the bed. So I want y'all out here, that y'all Israelites out here, don't let these people try to give you religion. You know what I'm saying? And you smart enough to come out of a lot of these modern day churches and to get an understanding, start really doing what the word say instead of talking about doing what the word say. Then let them sit up there and entertain you with the choir and stuff like that. And you in no better situation. You ought to be better in the situation if you're giving worship to the Creator. You ought to be able to get past life's test because you know somebody got your back. Instead of getting beat down to a pulp and sitting there, don't know what you're going to do. I'm telling you, you ain't got the right situation if that's the case. Because even in adversity, you know what I'm saying, we try, as we going through the adversity, because we know at the end of the Most High not going to leave us or forsake us. You know what I'm saying? 24. And the Lord did so. And there came a grievous swarm of flies unto the house of Pharaoh and unto his servants, his houses, and into the land of Egypt. And the land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies. And Pharaoh called, not Pharaoh calling, hey Moses, Moshe, Aharon, baby. You know what I'm saying? And Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, go ye, sacrifice to the God of your land. Now he telling you can go. At first he wouldn't release him. But I guess after them flies, he gave them Beelzebub, because they worship Beelzebub. Remember, it was 10 plagues and they worshiped 10 different gods, and Most High was busting them up. And Moses said, it is not meet, it is not proper. I'm just going to plug the right, a better word. And Moshe said, it is not proper so to do, for we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Lord of our God. Lo, Shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes, and they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God, and He as He commanded us. So He said, man, we don't want to do it here. Well, y'all watching and y'all getting in our business. We for to separate from y'all. And a lot of Egyptians did leave with what's called, because a lot of people knew that what they was worshiping um, was weak pseudo. They knew that they was worshiping a weak situation. A lot of Egyptians did come over through the Red Sea with the Israelites, and the Most High did accept them as a people. And Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that ye may sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away, entreat for me. And Moses said, behold, I will go out from thee, and I will entreat the Lord, that the swarm of flies may depart from Pharaoh and his servants and his people to tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully any more in not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. So he said, I'm going to do it, but you better make sure, you know what I'm saying, that you don't, be like changing your mind. You know what I'm saying? Moses warned him. And Moshe went out from Pharaoh and entreated to the Lord. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses. And he removed the swarm of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, from his people, and there remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. See that? Now Moses warned them. This is crazy. It just like, I remember when the Twin Towers got hit. Man, the churches was full then. But once it looked like everything was kind of cooled out and they started knowing what was going on, people went back to the vomit. They went back. It was a time, because I remember church was full doing that. Man, nobody knew what was going on. The towers had, man, we was on the terrorist attack. Man, everybody was like coming together, being a little bit more nicer. We trying to realize as a nation, like, man, what just happened? All these places got hit. Churches was full. But it seemed like once everything cool got back to normal, what they do? Went back to their foolishness. Went back to the vomit. Oh man, that looked pretty good, man. I'm hungry, man. Just went back, chowed back down, man. But I'm just letting you know. That's the dog going back to the vomit. Verse 32. I ain't gonna spend I done spent a whole lot of time. I ain't even got to listen. Let's get something real quick. I'm gonna just jump past the whole lot. I ain't gonna be able to teach this whole thing. I'm sitting up here looking at these scriptures, laughing. I know by how much time it went by. Just look at, but as a dog goes back to his vomit, so does a fool go back to his folly. You know what I'm saying? I think I better skip this too, because it's gonna be too long. I try to keep the videos a certain amount of time. Let's get a short verse. Proverbs 15:21. It says, folly, which is foolishness, is a joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. See, a person ain't got no, ain't that don't have any wisdom, folly is a joy. That's what a lot of people do. They want to go and be entertained. They can sit there and be entertained all day by somebody making a fool out themselves on the various social media platforms, especially TikTok and different things. They don't want to spend no time learning about the Creator. And a lot of times TikTok is showing you off. I seen videos. I ain't gonna say every video is everything you see on social media is 100, but I've seen people, because we have cameras that run all outside our homes, all outside our places, man. They pick up all kind of stuff. I done say some stuff you just can't explain. From I ain't gonna say alien. I'm gonna say fallen angels, cause that's a lot of times what it is. A lot of times they be having these flying saucers. Those are cherubim angels. You read about that in Ezekiel. The ones that shaped like a disc and amber in color. You know what I'm saying? Those are those are considered aliens, what we'll say, but they're actually fallen angels. And then in the last year or so, it's been so many fallen angels coming to this earth. Just like in the book of Canute or Enoch time. The watchers left, and they got to the women. Man, I watched a little of Paternity Court. I watched maybe 6 of them shows. I seen where men raised children. These women kept secrets from this man, and he's not the father, and man, these men father was the father of these children, and man, this woman know the whole time. She just want him to. I'm sleeping with three or four different people. I want him to be the daddy because he's the, and don't even know. It got into the women. This is why men. This is another reason why men you cover these women, because you know what, they are emotional beings, and they let a lot of times their emotions get in front of them, and they can't reach their full potential of destiny because they need balance. You know what I'm saying? They need you to have some balance. They need you to stick to your guns, to stand on something. You know what? Be a good listener, be a good leader, be a good person, because a lot of times they don't. I sat up there and watched this guy. Had a dialogue with this woman on YouTube, and he was like, he asked her, what did she want? This woman, at first she tried to act like she knew what she wanted. I know what I want. Man, he said, well, go ahead and tell me. No, go ahead and tell me. She couldn't even tell. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these times you have to cover these women. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, they'll be a loose cannon. Because, man, it's a messed up world out there. I'm going to say that. Let's go get this one more time. We working it toward the end. But Pharaoh still, at the end, he finally let him go and went and changed him. Because, man, maybe I better go back. Go back to Exodus chapter 9. But you seen that. Soon as it looked like the coast was clear, he got all the flies out. Here you go. Now he done got the cattle. The cattle gonna have to die next. Then the balls come. Then hail. And we still look at this last verse. This last verse of chapter 9. Yeah, here we go. No, let's go. Now we done jump to the hell part in chapter 9, verse 26. Only in the land of Goshen, remember the Israelites was separated from them, where the children of Israel were, there was no hell. And Pharaoh said and Pharaoh sent and called Moses and Aharon and said unto them, I have sinned this time. Okay, that's a step. He realized that he done wrong. But the next step is to turn away from what you're doing, to have a different response to what you've been doing that wasn't working, that got us in trouble. We done threw up. We done been delivered. We done threw up. And then, but then we go around, we still unfulfilled and go back. That's what he been doing. Throwing up, only to come back to it and eat it again. He done this several times through all these plagues that we read up to this point. But at least he's starting to evolve a little bit because first he was just too hard. And Moses warned him, Moshe warned him, remember? Entreat the Lord, for it is enough that there be no more mighty thunderings and hail. I know that thunder gets you right, boy. Boy, I used to live in Oklahoma. Y'all know that starting at the alley. I remember, boy, them thunder be clapping out there. Ain't no big trees, them little bitty thin trees out there and all that flat land. Man, it seems like that thunder be dead on top of your head, boy. I'm talking about that thunder with that lightning would come. Man, you don't know how many times, boy, I just jumped up. You praying the whole time walk into the car, man. And all the hair, it's so much electricity in the air, your hair and your arms standing up, Jack. I remember that. I know that had to be horrible. I remember that experience. And Moshe said unto them, as soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread my hands unto the Lord. And Moses said unto him, as soon as I go out from the city, now Moses trying to help him. Now Haran ain't doing it. Now Moses doing it. And I will spread out my hands unto the Lord, and the thunder shall cease. Neither shall there be any more hail, and thou mayest know that the earth is the Lord's. It's not yours, Pharaoh. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that you will not yet fear the Lord God. So he said, man, I still know. You ain't fooling me. Soon as it get the coast clear, I'm going. now he say, Pharaoh said, I sinned. Oh, now he said it earlier, a couple verses up. Oh, he threw it. That what threw up, what that boy lapping it. That boy Nas, he said, I have sinned. Oh, he threw up. Here we go. Moses even said, man, you ain't fooling me. We done been through this a few times, Jack. You got some things going on. And the flax and the barley was smitten, and for the barley was in the ear, and the flax was bold. And the wheat and the rye were not smitten. They were not grown up. And Moses went out to the city from Pharaoh and spread forth his hand unto the Most High. And the thunders and the hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunderings were ceased, he sinned yet more. Let me go back and get that, boy. That's some good thought, boy. That was some good food. I ain't that could go to waste. Ooh. Man, come on, man. He sinned not yet. He sinned yet more. And he hardened his heart, he and his servants. You see, his servants are the friends that are trying to get you to go back. Hey, man, just smoke a little weed, man. We about to go out. Hey, man, I think that chick over there like you. You trying to have a good time with the fellas, and you done moved on with your life. And they over there talking about, or that boyfriend called you up. Tyrone called you up. Or Cleotis or whoever. Leroy called you, and he say he's sorry now. He done changed, and he done dogged you clean, slap out, and you go because you haven't been on a few dates in a while, and you just feel like the Most High just don't forgot about you on that level with a person, and get you to hastily act up on some foolishness, and get you to sever, to sever from his blessing that he have for you, for some foolishness. Because our Satan know, okay, well, let me go and get this joke off the path. Let me get some double-mindedness going here. Because that's what a double-minded person is. A double-minded person cannot think to please the Most High. That's what Scripture tells. You can't make up your mind. The Most High, whether you hot or cold. You can't be in the middle. He'll spew you out. That's what the Scripture said in the book of Revelation. You got to be either for him or against him. He can understand if you're against him. He just let you. It did tell you the scripture earlier told you that he still gives blessings to the foolish. He'll bless you and be a fool, and you're just gonna wake up in Gehenna or lake of fire. At some point, you're gonna be judged and threw into it. We'll say that. But that's no friends with him. See, no friends tell him, oh, I wouldn't even take that. I don't even know why. You know what I'm saying? You know, let the Lord do you like that, man. You Pharaoh, man. This is your spot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And the people get you to encourage you to be a fool. He hardened his heart, he and his servant. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened. Neither would he let the children of Israel go. I ain't letting them boys, y'all gonna stay right here. The thunder done stop. Coast is clear. We're gonna go back to this foolishness. And the Lord spake not by Moses. That's why the Most High killed him in the end, because you know what? Yeah, plenty of time. See, grace was from the beginning with the water turning to blood. Grace has an expiration date. See, that's what your modern day Christians not hide behind. Jesus know your heart, and he love you. Grace. Let me tell you something. Grace is before. Let me show you the first person to have grace put on. Well, grace was. It wasn't during Jesus' time. It was in the Old Testament. Noah. Verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High. The Most High saw everybody was doing wicked. He looked over and seen this one guy still trying to hang in there, still trying to do worship, give worship and keep it real. When everybody else doing all this new age stuff that got all these satanic hints behind it and stuff, spell casting voodoo and different things going on. This was a man still trying to practice the right way. Him and his family. Now, go back. Where was I going? Man, I forgot where I was going just that fast. Give me a second to think about where I was going. I was going in the book of Genesis. Oh, yeah, I already showed that. Roman, I was talking about grace. Right, grace is a license to sin. We under grace now, so we ain't gotta let that jackleg teach you something crazy. Romans 6:1. And this is Shaul, or y'all know him as Paul. Romans 6:1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound, that grace covers? Shall we continue to break the Most High's laws, which is sin? Sin is transgression of the law, as it says in the New Testament. Shall we continue to sin that grace may cover it? Abound means to cover. That grace may cover it. Can we still use grace as a license to sin? God forbid. Verse 2. How shall we that are dead to sin, because we become a new creature once we get enlightened, right? And live long therein. Go to 2 Peter, about 2 more verses, y'all. 2 Peter. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to 2 Peter. 2 Peter 2 and 18. For as when they speak great swelling words of vanity, when them friends is encouraging you to have plenty of vanity, to be to encourage you to do foolishness, participate in their whoredoms. You know what I'm saying? They allure, they allure through the lust of the flesh. Girl, you ain't got nobody, so we might as well just do a girl trip, meet us somebody out there, and just give it to a stranger. We hear what stays out here, or what stays in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Through much wantonness over there, dressed all provocative. You know what I'm saying? Through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. You know what I'm saying? We done say, man, you know what? I realize that none of that's worked for me. None of my flesh. Going back to Tyrone ain't gonna help, or Bartholomew, or whoever, or Maceo, or whoever. That ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I love them 79. You know what I'm saying? When thou promised them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption. For of whom a man is overcome, of the same he is brought into bondage. You can't be hanging with these people. Now, back in the gap, I can tell you, I always had a problem with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? How I'm gonna put it? I was a hormone. That was my thing. I never had no problem. I wasn't no Denzel, but I got mine back in the day. And I had some friends. As long as we go out like a dog on a hunt, looking to see who we can conquer and divide, partner. And shoot, my alias back then was I'm gonna tell you, was Aloysius, Cleotis Theodore, Bartholomew Jackson. You understand what I'm saying? He was that one talking about, hey baby, how you doing? You could be doing better if you had me on your team, baby. You looking like you lost. You looking like you're a little lonely. You know what I'm saying? I was the one to go and man, take advantage of people. And I had friends. That's what we got together and did. But you know how much that can get you in trouble, and how vain, and you know what I'm saying? Those friends, I don't have those friends no more. I realized that, I woke up and I realized, man, they causing me a lot of problems. You know, and I realized that you don't need all that in your life. You know what? The right companion does it all. And you don't have to spend your time like on Coming to America. Akeem, I suppose you have sex with your bathers. I know I did. You know that look, you know what I'm saying? Sow your raw oats. You know what I'm saying, James Earl Jones? I realized you don't have to do that, man. He was trying to come to America to find a queen. That was the story. Now the second movie, throw that out the window. That was but the original, I am looking for my son. I can hear him now. Akeem, have you seen him? But the king went out to find a queen. You know what I'm saying? He was enlightened. He didn't want to keep doing what Daddy was doing. You get what I'm saying? So I got tired of being like Pharaoh, eating. His neck ought to been tied, bowing down, eating. What, at 10 times? Anyway, we can't go back. We gotta leave them friends alone. We can't give them that time. We gotta love some friends from a distance. For if after we have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord and Savior Hamashiach Yahushua, there again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse for them than the beginning. We finally get some sense, and the Most High wake us up. We done hit rock bottom. Or you wake up and you been clubbing party, and you wake up next to somebody 600 pounds you know, with no teeth in the front, and what's called you waking up in a junk and stupid and you naked. You know what I'm saying? They naked. That ain't happened to me. First of all, that did not happen to me by no. But I'm just using a crazy thing in my mind to prove a point. Or you out there partying, you some female, and you wake up to some dude with a big looking like Jerome on Martin and teeth the same, and you like, what the, you know what I'm saying? You know, where to hit rock bottom, something that lightning, but sometimes people have to hit rock bottom like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You be like, I ain't drinking with these, boy, this will never happen again, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come up, I'm going up, I'm not done with this food, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of them come out of foolishness, some of them in some of these, this is already read 21. But your ending gonna be worse than your beginning, because remember, when the unclean spirit, you do the work, and I'm not gonna read it. Man, I'm trying to make this okay. I'm gonna see how I can wrap this up. Remember, the unclean spirit, right, goes out once you done clean. You know, I'm talking about from the gospel. The unclean spirit, you get delivered, and then you go back and eat the vomit. It tell you that he come back with 7 more unclean spirits. So this is why a lot of our friends are just totally, you done the work, you done repented, you done been through things, you done got your life together, you done some self-checking, you done, and then you go back and hang with this person, and then they get you back doing some stuff where you do it yourself, but you get some encouragement to do it, and you back. But this time you're gonna be 7 times worse, because when, and it doesn't matter how, because I'm gonna tell you, it's a whole lot of spell casting going on out there. It's a whole lot of demonic people out there, man. I'm gonna tell you, they praying stuff on your life, they throwing stuff on your life, and you get your life together, and the Most High break some of them spells, and some of them and unbind you from certain situations. It's bad to go back, because it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder to come back from. That's why it's better to not sin. Sin is what does it say? What is it? It's better. Man, something in sacrifice. I can't think of how it was worded. Anyway, verse 21. For it had been better for them obedience. That scripture, the Most High gave it to me. I was searching in my mind. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Being obedient, we don't have to wake up next to some man look like Jerome with a pipe gut and half his hair gone. You know what I'm saying? Or some woman 650 pounds, with no front teeth out and bottom teeth or whatever, and snag tooth all over. You know what I'm saying? Because we done got so much in a drunken slumber, we didn't know what was doing. When we should have left that wine, if we know it's a problem, alone. For if it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than to have known it and to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. You know what? It was better for you not to even be awakened. Some people here, they won't be awakened. There's plenty of people. People are choosing to be in hell every day. The scripture tells us in Isaiah that hell have enlarged herself, because plenty of people want to choose that reality. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb: the dog is turned to his own vomit again. Our base scripture. And the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. The pig have been cleaned to go back into the mud. See, them pigs don't mind you being in that mud. They don't mind you being in that mud at all. They want you to get. They not happy unless you hurt. Some people not gonna be your friend as soon as they find out that you ain't doing that fooling and you doing better. They want you to struggle with them. They your friend only because they want you to struggle with them. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to always remember this. Son of man. It's Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman. Now this is Ezekiel getting his commission unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of at my mouth, and give to them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest them not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his evil way, to save his life, to save the wicked man, shall die in his iniquity, but his blood shall be required at thy hand. You see, those who are us, that's why I don't ever compromise the truth. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what it said, and that's just what it is. There's a lot of people, a lot of preachers out there, try to be in the middle. They try not to offend, but you know what? The Bible tells you that the word is a two-edged sword. A two-edged sword, if you try to hold it, it's gonna cut your hand trying to stab somebody. It's what you telling them to do, you also are under that. You know what I'm saying? Period. Son of man, I have made unto thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same shall the wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but the blood will be required at thy hand, right? Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou deliverest thy soul. You know what? When you got friends out there, and they don't want to involve, they want to still keep you partying and getting you drunk, keeping you, hey man, I'm not gonna do this no more. I want better for myself, because I'm not gonna wake up in no jail cell, then killed somebody, been out here partying, then killed somebody, vehicle of homicide. You know what I'm saying? That ain't for me. Again, when a righteous man do it turn from his righteousness and committed iniquity. So when a righteous man turns from doing what's right to what's wrong, basically, and I will lay a stumbling block before him. See, the Most High will help you when you done got all the knowledge and you know to do better. He can help you. He shall die. He shall put a stumbling block before he gonna help you. So don't go back to the vomit. See, Pharaoh, he kept going back to the vomit from the frog, from the blood in the water, the frogs, the lice. He just kept. It's a certain amount of time. Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. Remember Romans 6:2? It ain't gonna keep covering for your sin. And lay it a stumbling block before him, and he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness, which he have done, shall not be remembered. But his blood will be required at thy hand. So if you see a brother or sister out there going back to all that foolishness, going back to their foolish ways, and going back to them institutions that's over there teaching lies and stuff like that, and start falling, guess what? Hey, baby, we kind of going off track, baby. What we doing here? Hey, offer help. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doeth not sin, he shall surely live, because he has warned. Because he is warned, also thou hast delivered thy soul. So you say him and you. And the hand of the Lord was there upon me, and said, arise, go forth to the plain, and to talk to thee. And then this is just for a clip note. This is really nothing to do with the story, but a lot of people say, well, the spirit before Christ, the spirit didn't enter into man. It was after the renewed testament was the spirit able to come into man. Bad teaching, lie. So after he said all that to him earlier that I just read, then the spirit entered into me and sat upon my feet and spake with me and said unto me, go shut thyself up within thine house. So they did walk in the spirit. Just a little tidbit. I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna just thank everybody, but I'm gonna just say, you know what, even in the Lord's prayer as they call it, it's a part in there where it say, deliver us from evil, for thine the kingdom and the power and the glory. You know what I'm saying? You know, repenting is a major part of our walk, because as in this human flesh, we're gonna make mistakes, and it's hard to live in the spirit all the time. But we have to strive. At the end of the day, sometimes you have to cut ties with people that aren't trying to have you go to a higher state of your being, so we can do the work that we was intended to do here before the Most High take us back. So I want y'all to have a blessed day. I'm gonna say Shabbat Shalom.